Hi, everybody. My name is Nori Connor, and I'm the Assistant Dean for Outreach and Engagement for Azusa Pacific University School of Education. Thank you so much for joining us for today's virtual hiring fair. And we're excited to host Cameron with Apple Valley Unified School District today. He will give a 5-minute general presentation about his district and then host 10 minutes of Q&A. Candidates, your video and mics are turned off just to ensure a seamless presentation. So please submit your questions to the host through the Q&A box that you'll see at the bottom of your screen. If you're on a mobile device, you'll just kind of have to flip through the screens to get to the Q&A section, but go ahead and do that, and both Cameron and I will be able to see your questions. So Cameron, thank you again for joining us. Could you please begin your presentation just by introducing yourself to the group?
Sure. My name is Cameron Smart. I'm the Director of Human Resources for Apple Valley Unified. Let me just tell you a little bit about our district. We are in the high desert, so if you're not familiar with where Apple Valley is, we are up the Cajon Pass off the I-15 on your way to Vegas. There's also other neighboring communities near us, Victorville, Hesperia, Phelan, and so we are just to the, I guess would be the east of those communities. Apple Valley Unified School District serves about 13,000 students. We have 13 schools. 10 of those are elementary, 5 are K-8, 5 are K-6, and then we have 2 comprehensive high schools and 1 alternative ed center school that both host continuation school, independent study, and so forth. One of the great things about our district is, one is the size. We're not a huge district, but we're not a super small district, so we're still able to provide a lot of the benefits of a larger district as far as a lot of professional development. We have instructional coaches at every school site that provide support. They don't have a teaching role, so they're able to provide support throughout the day. We also have provide induction coaches as well for our new teachers that work with them for their 2 years to clear their credential. We also have minimum days on Wednesdays, so that provides an opportunity for our teachers to collaborate, to plan. Some days are time for them to work with their departments. Sometimes it is time for them to do trainings and so forth. So a lot of opportunity for engagement, support. If you're a special education teacher, we also have a local Desert Mountain SELPA that provides a lot of training and support to go along with that. We provide a lot of opportunities at our district, both after school, as far as after school activities, programs, coaching, leadership roles, as well as during the day. We have some teachers that serve in those capacities at school sites, as far as maybe being a teacher in charge when the principal's off campus, or being part of a leadership team on the campus that helps kind of facilitate the direction of the school. One of the other great things about our area is the cost of living. It's probably one of the least expensive places to live in Southern California. Average home prices are around $270, $280 right now. So you can probably, in most cases, buy a home up here and pay about the same as you would for rent somewhere else in another location down the hill. So that is another great reason. Plus the access we have, we're right off the 15, so you can get pretty much anywhere in Southern California in about 2.5 hours. And our pay, we start out a little over $53,000, and we provide a good benefits package. There is a contribution that employees do have to pay. We do have a Kaiser HMO, which for teachers right now is, I think, under $100 a month for their contribution. We do also have a PPO plan that is quite a bit more expensive, so a lot of our teachers do choose the Kaiser plan. We also do have a small Kaiser facility in our area, and then just down the hill, about 30-40 minutes away, is a couple other larger Kaiser facilities that our employees have access to. So that's kind of our district. One of the things is also we're again, I mentioned we're smaller, so we have a real family atmosphere. We provide a lot of support for our teachers in a variety of ways when they need it. Our administration has been, our upper management administration, as far as superintendent and assistant supes, have all been a part of the district for, I think, over 15 years, each of them. So therefore, we don't have a lot of turnover. We have a lot of consistency in how we manage our district, and that seems to help, especially in times like this. As far as positions we have open, we have multiple subject. Most of those that we have currently left vacant are in the upper elementary to middle school range. We also have some single subject positions. One of the positions we also do have that's unique is a 9th grade self-contained teacher position at our alternative ed center. And that basically would teach the 4 cores during the day, and also maybe an elective as well. And the uniqueness of that position is you can have either a single subject or multiple subject credential and still be eligible to teach in that setting, because it is an alternative setting. I think that's all I have. I'm open for questions and so forth at this point. Question and answer tab.
Yeah, you actually answered one of them, and they were asking about the positions that you have available. I know just from looking at the list of attendees that we have some school counselors and school psychologists, and usually we get questions about that. Do you have any or anticipate any?
Yes, I do have a school counselor position. I'm just going to look up my list again, but I do have a school counselor position currently available now to middle school setting. Well, it's actually one of our K-8s, not just straight middle school, but so yes, we do have that as well. I don't have any SLPs or any school psychs at this time. I do have elementary music, which is another one that's kind of unique. It would be a K6, K8 kind of models. Would be somebody would work at multiple sites, at least 2 different sites. So yeah, and then somebody, I believe somebody asked about intern credentials. We do hire both intern and emergency credentials as well.
Great, thank you. Do you have any plans for your district hosting any virtual hiring fairs or conducting? I assume that you're conducting interviews through this type of platform as well.
Yeah, we aren't hosting a fair, but we do have all our positions are posted on EdJoin, and so you can just go to EdJoin and search for Apple Valley Unified School District. And we have been interviewing for the last couple of weeks using either Google Hangouts or the Zoom platform, and so that seems to have been working well for us. And I'm sure that's the way we would continue to do that until we've filled our vacancies.
Great. Question popped up there.
Do we hire any mental health counselor interns or wellness classified staff? We don't have any specific positions in that. Like, for instance, our counselors, specifically even at our middle school, even our high school as well, I guess you could say, they're kind of part of our support team for when students might be having mental health issues. So they kind of serve, obviously, a dual role. Obviously, at the high school level, there is a lot of the focus on, master schedule and tracking students to ensure they're graduating and make sure they have all the things they need for post-high school plans. Middle school, there's probably a little bit more emphasis on dealing with students that have kind of those kind of issues, and they have a high focus on PBIS, which we do throughout our district as well.
Great. I have a question about how does your district integrate technology into the classroom, and maybe what supports are provided?
Sure. We're a one-to-one district from 2nd through 12th grade. They have one-to-one Chromebooks, and then below that, I think they have a combination of iPads, Chromebooks, and desktops. And so if you're in 2nd through 8th grade, all the devices are at school. You use them while you're at school. You don't get to take them home. High school, 9th through 12th, do get to take those home on a regular basis. A lot of our teachers do use Google Classroom or some platform of that nature. So there is a lot of connection digitally for students to be able to see what work they have, turn in work, collaborate, Our tech department is continuing to try to improve not only our infrastructure as far as the Wi-Fi and connectivity, but also, continuing as we upgrade devices to find ones that are compatible with what we see we're going to be doing in the future. So we're very, I guess you could say, a lot of our teachers use technology on a very regular basis in the classroom.
Great, thank you. We have 2 new questions. One's in the Q&A and the other one is in the chat box.
Yeah, so one is no, you do not need a code to apply. If you just go on EdJoin and then search for our district, our listings should pop up. And let me see if I can get over to the chat box. What are you looking for when you consider hiring a teacher? Well, one, as far as hiring a teacher, look, I guess, kind of what everybody else, we look at, credential, does it fit the need? Obviously, we still do interns and emergency credentials. We're looking for somebody who's, passionate about kids, passionate about teaching, coachable, teachable, somebody that's a team player, just wants to get in there and do what they can to help support what we have going on at that school site. What are important points for your district and teacher qualifications? Again, kind of the same lines. Credentialing kind of directs a lot of things because obviously we have now the electronic assignment monitoring. So we're going to be monitoring everybody all the time. And so we don't want to have people out of teaching out of the area they're supposed to. So that's one of the things. I have a great analyst who works with our teachers to ensure that what they're teaching lines up with what their credential says they can teach. And so we work with administrators, if they want to put somebody in a specific position, to ensure that they're not outside of their credential, or if there's a way to allow them to work outside their credential. There are certain things as far as waivers and local assignment options you can use to allow a teacher to teach outside their a specific credential area if they have enough units in a certain area and things like that. And so we do that as well when necessary. Somebody wants my email. Sure. Should I type it in, or is it easier just to tell you what it is? Here, I'll answer live. Let me see. I can put it in there, right? Is that how I do it?
I could put it in this. If you don't mind everybody having it, we could put it in the main chat box.
Okay, so yeah. Am I able to type in there? Here, I'll type it in there. I think that way you can go to all of them.
Perfect.
I'm still learning Zoom. I'm more of a Google Hangouts guy, so I'm learning all these options. But okay, so there's my email. So if you have questions or need any help, just shoot me an email and I'll help you any way I can. All right. Do we have any other questions?
Can you share a little bit about, there's still a myth that always comes up about maybe that people shouldn't get their master's degree. What are your thoughts about that, about candidates getting their master's degree and looking for employment?
Well, I will tell you, obviously that brings another layer to the table. It's obviously helpful, especially if it's in the area that you're going to be teaching. For instance, when we're looking at single subject folks, and if I've got a master's in math, then I know they've had some additional schooling. Because when you look at math, specifically high school, you want somebody who can do a wide variety of things, all the way from integrated math 1 to, calculus 3 and things of that nature. So that helps. It obviously helps that person as well, when they come into a district with a master's degree, as far as the pay range they would fall into. I wouldn't say it's necessary to have it right away, but it does, I believe, help if you're comparing two candidates that are very similar and one has a master's that you feel would help them in that area. Obviously, that's going to probably weigh in a team's decision on, do we want to go with that person or not. So I say it can help. And I know there's a lot of programs now where you do your master's and your credential at the same time. We value those. I mean, you're continuing to learn the skills that will benefit you in the classroom. So, if that's something somebody wants to do, it's definitely going to help them.
Great, thank you. I think I have an additional question. So what opportunities does your district offer for professional development and growth?
All right. Well, we'll have to see how it is next year with how everything came down as far as funding, but because who knows what that's going to look like after maybe revise. But we have a pretty robust professional development calendar. If you looked at our calendar this year, pretty much every week there was a couple groups that were getting some kind of professional development. Sometimes it was related to a curriculum maybe that we were using or that we have adopted. Or it might have been related to specific techniques for teaching at certain grade levels. Some of that happened at the district office. Some of it happened at school sites. But we believe in continuous professional development because we know that, I can't meet with you and give you everything, like the whole fire hose approach where I just shoot you all the information in August and then never come back and revisit to see how things are going, to see if you have questions, to review things, to teach you next steps. So we're always trying to just continually build people's capacity. So our professional development is ongoing throughout the year. Plus, we typically will have some summer opportunities for people to join professional development, usually sometimes right after school gets out and then right before school starts. And those are opportunities that are sent out for employees to get some additional training as they lead up into a school year or at the end of a school year, so they can plan over the summer. So we do a lot of that. Like I said, if it's related to special education, we have a Desert Mountain SELPA that provides, again, a monthly variety of different kinds of professional development that our staff have access to.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it as well.
And so those who are attending, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Cameron. And I also, up above, posted their website and their jobs listings page. So check that out as well. So thank you again and have a wonderful afternoon.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
So we have our next presenters here. We have EdTheory, and we'll go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Nori Connor. I'm the Assistant Dean for Outreach and Engagement for APU School of Education. And we're excited to host Shalina and Patrick from EdTheory today. They will give a 5-minute presentation and then host 10 minutes of Q&A. And so candidates, again, your video and mics are turned off. Just to ensure a seamless presentation. And so please use the Q&A feature here in Zoom to submit your questions. So Shalina and Patrick, thank you again for joining us. Could you please begin your presentation by introducing yourselves to the group, and I will enable your camera.
Hello guys, this is Patrick. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. And if you want to share your videos, you're welcome to.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I'm using my phone. Oh, there you go. Start my video right here. Hello, and thank you again, Amy, for your time. Hello, APU students. My name is Patrick. I'm the Associate Director of Recruitment for EdTheory. And we have Shalina as well. How are you, Shalina?
Hi, I'm Shalina. I'm the Career Services Coordinator here on EdTheory, and thank you again to Azusa for having us. I think that we can go ahead and get started. So. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so thank you again, everybody who is attending. Thank you again for your time, Amy, for setting all this up. We've seen a lot of success from the last meeting. So let's hope we can, do it again. And of course, all the questions will be at the end of the presentation. So I'm just going to let you guys know about EdTheory. Shalina, feel free to interject with anything. Otherwise, we'll just do it like we've always done it. So EdTheory, we are a staffing company, actually an NPA, non-public staffing agency located in the Bay Area, but we hire for school districts all over California. So a little bit more about us. We actually provide contract solutions to public, private, and charter schools in California.
as I said earlier, we are a non-public agency headquartered in Pleasanton or Alameda County. We have a local presence as well in Asia and South America to attract internationally qualified therapists and educators. So if we have any OPT students around here who are looking to get their H-1B, we're definitely one of the best companies for you. We actually have our own immigrations department that will allow us to help those who have a student visa looking to get their work visa, so on and so forth, all the way till they get their green card. We can go on to the next screen. So our mission, and we like to live by this mission. We don't just talk about it like many of these companies do. And proof is in the pudding. If you check out our reviews on Glassdoor and Indeed, you will see that we have some of the best industry leading reviews. And our mission is simple. We want to transform lives and the communities that we serve, whether that is locally, whether that is globally. And I say this because we don't take this lightly. We take absolute pride in our customer service ability. We take absolute pride in our clinical team. You guys listening to me right now, graduating from APU, we take your first year especially serious, because this is when you will need the most guidance. This is when you will need the best clinical support, and we're going to be able to give that to you, because I've been doing this for almost 8 years, even with various companies. And I could tell you how EdTheory does it is a much more personalized individual approach versus a company just simply trying to hit their, commission numbers. It's really personal to us. We do this for the kids, and, we take your career very seriously. Next slide. Awesome. Some really quick facts about us. We are an approved NPA by the California Department of Education. Not many organizations are actually approved by the California Department of Ed. So we are actually accredited to provide staffing solutions to our clients, which are in the education field all over California. We have over 10 years experience in the special education and therapy hiring field. Our services are highly recommended, as seen by the reviews on our very own employees on Indeed and Glassdoor. So please take a look, maybe compare it with many other companies and their reviews as well. I think you'll be pleasantly satisfied to see what you're going to see. Clinical training, support, and supervision provided to our therapists through our Pillars of Success Clinical Fellowship Central program. So you don't have to be a speech pathologist to be in this program. You just have to be a new grad. So whether you are a new grad school psychologist, whether you're a new grad special education teacher, or SLP, we're going to be able to help you. We have a step-by-step clinical program that will help you and get you ready for your first job, your first career. We're never going to throw you into the fire and watch you burn. We're going to be there with you from the very start. We're going to hold your hand, and we're going to make sure you are in the best position to succeed with us. We have expertise, like I said, in international recruitment, OPT candidates. We help them get their H-1B, their work visas, all that good stuff as well. We have our own immigration department, and if you have any, or if you yourself are going through that, even though it may be a little bit slow right now, as you know, immigration has been suspended by the president. Once it opens back up again, we're going to be able to continue with business for our international students. We also have something called Project Hope, which is a program for children with special needs through our corporate social program. So we work with multiple other nonprofit groups for Project Hope, where if we choose 2 of our employees to actually do an all expenses paid trip, a 2-week excursion to New Delhi, India, to provide services for our children's clinic over there. And we work with multiple nonprofit groups to also send their professionals for this summertime excursion. Maybe not this summer, but for sure for the upcoming summer, it will happen. You can go on to the next slide. You do not have to okay, be stagnated with these other companies, because forever you're just going to be a staff therapist for them. With us, we actually have a clinical ladder. We actually have professional ladder. We have actual growth opportunities with the company. So in this specific case, maybe you'll start off as a speech pathologist. Maybe you'll start off as a school psychologist. But you don't have to stay that way forever. We have options where maybe you yourself can be a clinical supervisor. Maybe you yourself can be a university ambassador with APU. You know what I mean? We have clinical roles. We have a corporate ladder that you can actually climb with EdTheory, unlike many other companies, and maybe even, you know, other districts as well, where you will be a staff member with them forever, or for quite a long time before you see any kind of career growth. Where with us, you may be able to see career growth just after 1 year. We have a few assignment settings, but I would say 90% of them would be the first one, which is the school-based settings. We also have clinical, medical rehab SNFs or skilled nursing facilities, as well as a dash of early intervention clinics. We're going to take a look at the compensation models here as well. And if you guys have any other questions, please reach out to me. We're just going to briefly touch on this. It's a very general range, but let me know if you have any questions and we could discuss further afterwards. Our salary range for specifically new grads is going to be around 75 to 80K. That's including comprehensive benefits. We're not like many of these other employers which you may be exposed to, where they're including their benefits within their salary. So for example, they say, hey, we're going to give you a package deal of 75K, but in reality, that package deal includes 10K worth of health benefits, and they're really going to pay you 65K. So we're telling you right here, 75 to 85K is their range, plus you get benefits on top of that. If you have any offers in writing, we're able to meet or beat any kind of written offers that you may have, okay? You can choose between a salary or an hourly rate with us. So if it's an hourly rate, we're looking at around $54 to $59 per hour, including employee benefits. Once again, this is a general range. Every school district will have a different budget. Every every county in general will have a different budget as well. But this is just a general range that we're looking at, okay? And if you do qualify as a traveler, meaning that you have a permanent address 50 miles away from where you're actually working, you're eligible for travel stipend, which includes housing and relocation assistance. That will bring up your gross salary range up to around the 95 to 110K range, plus benefits on top of that. Some of the, we'll just briefly touch, we have over 30 plus different types of benefits, but I'll just touch on a few of the main ones that a lot of our new grads look at. So first of all, you have access to, in this case, an SLP network, but in a school psychologist case, you have access to a clinical team full of school psychologists and stuff like that. So we have online learning, we have therapy materials, and school supplies through our lending library hub. We have unlimited continuing education units. We have licensure credential reimbursements. We have an EdTheory grant that we can provide to you. We have global outreach opportunities. We're one of the only companies with a 401k retirement plan that actually does a company matching after you work 2 years with us. Financial fitness planning. We have summer vacation bonuses. We pay you out of our own pockets for you to do community service work up to 3 hours every school year, as well as a great corporate wellness program. Now to touch a little bit more into Project Hope, okay? This is where we have an underserved community in New Delhi, India, okay? We work with a nonprofit group called Tejas Asia. They're an accredited non-government organization, or NGO. They're based out of New Delhi, India. And what we do is we provide community-based programs for special education and all other related services. So in this case, it'll be a children's clinic that we are helping run with Project Hope. So essentially, if you are chosen to go through Project Hope, which is every summertime, the students will be experiencing international development firsthand by enrolling in an internship or volunteering special education and therapy projects in India. Our commitment is to youth, is to engage with them in global development and social issues and education, so they can actually act and make a difference upon it. Great program. More information is on our EdTheory website as well. And that's about it. I wanted to kind of just briefly talk about EdTheory, all the cool stuff that we have. At the end of the day, we have so many good things that we can offer you guys. I can't wait to get down to the questions. So please go ahead and ask away. We're going to be more than happy to answer any kind of questions that you may have. And hopefully we can be one of your options when looking for the first steps in your career. So I just wanted to thank APU and Amy one more time. And I can't wait for the questions.
Great, thank you. And actually, we are, our time is so short with the 15-minute segment, and so we've reached our time limit. And so I was wondering.
Oh, okay.
We brought up the contact page, so go ahead and for our attendees, take a screenshot of this. We haven't received questions yet, but if you think of questions, can you go ahead and take a screenshot of this and reach out to Shalina or Patrick directly with any of your questions? Is that okay, Patrick and Shalina?
Of course, and feel free
absolutely.
to call either one of these numbers that is on the main page. Those are both our direct numbers, so those will go directly to one of us, and we would be happy to speak to you.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. So it's also in the chat
And thank
box.
you guys as well.
Great. Well, have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you again for your time.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So next we have Real Journey Academies. And so we are excited to host Kim with Real Journey Academies today. She, just like our past presenters, she will give a 5-minute general presentation and then host 10 minutes of Q&A. And so again, candidates, your video and mics are muted and turned off just to ensure a seamless presentation. So please use the Q&A feature of Zoom to submit your questions during the time of presentation. And so Kim, thank you again for joining us. And if you wouldn't mind, can you begin your presentation by introducing yourself to the group? And you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's see. There, you're unmuted as well.
Okay. Hi, should we go ahead? Okay, my name is Kim Poor. I'm with Real Journey Academies. I've been with Real Journey Academies for this my 4th school year. I'm the HR recruiter of the organization. We are a public charter school in the Inland Empire. Sure, go ahead and keep going with my presentation.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Well, a little bit about Real Journey Academies. We've been serving the communities of San Bernardino, Fontana, Moreno Valley for the last 10 years. This is our 10th year, and there's a lot of growth in our organization right now. So currently we have 2 elementaries, a middle school, a fairly new high school, which is called Entrepreneur High School, that opened 2 years ago, and so there's growth in our high school there, and then looking to open a school in Fontana, which will be the same focus, which is Entrepreneur High School, but in the city of Fontana for the next school year as well. So we're TK through 12th grade. What we're looking for is teachers for the next school year. If you ask me what kind of teachers we are looking for, we are really looking for teachers that are passionate about connecting and engaging students through their educational experience. We serve communities that our students don't have another chance. There's no, well, if this is not going to work out, then there's another option for our students. What we need to do now for our community is to provide that experience for our students, so they see that they have a future, and we are looking for teachers that want to commit to that and show that their passion through their interactions with their students, and show them that they are worthy of a good education in their community. And what as far as for a teacher, why teach at RJA, Real Journey Academies? I would say it's the most rewarding. There are certain challenges to teaching at our schools, but then it is the most rewarding because you will see the aha moment in our students. Because when our students have gone through other school systems, or maybe, even through, it just didn't work out for them, and they choose. And so we have a group of students that choose to go to our schools, and also teachers that choose to work at our schools. So that gives you a good dynamic as to the work ethic and the want to be there and the want to learn. So the current opens we have right now at Real Journey Academies is mostly all grade levels. Our elementary, we are looking for 1st through 5th grade. For our middle school is 7th and 8th grade in all subjects. And for their high school, since we're adding 11th grade this school year, we're looking for that 11th grade level, but all subject areas. And then also for our new school opening in Fontana next school year, 9th and 10th graders in 9th and 10th grade levels in all subject areas as well. That includes special education teachers. So there's a lot of opportunities to join our team for this upcoming school year. Some of the benefits that Real Journey Academies offers to teachers as well is, we fully paid employer benefits. We cover medical out-of-pocket expenses 100% for employees. We participate in CalSTRS, of course. We provide professional development for our teachers 10 days beforehand, and then throughout the school year. We designate a day per month. It's a non-student day, and we do professional development on site, and then also have special guests come in so that our teachers are, always innovating and always just getting the right tools, and always, moving forward in a forward direction to meet our students where they are and give them the best experience. And then the other benefit we do offer is we do pay for, we reimburse the induction program for our for our teachers, so that they can clear their credentials as well. So let me see if there's questions. Oh, should I go ahead and go to the questions?
Yes, that would be great. We have one that came in.
Okay.
And everybody, go ahead and use the Q&A feature to submit your questions to Kim.
So the question is, are you hiring school counselors? Right at this moment, I don't have. Oh, and then so where we post all our openings, we go through EdJoin, but you definitely can go to our website and learn more about our school, and then also click on the link to apply or look for open positions that we have. As far as counseling positions, we don't have anything posted right now. It's going to be, if there is an open position, it would be closer to the first week of school, because we want to see our student enrollment. We do actually have a counselor for each of our campuses right now, 1 to 2 counselors. So we filled those positions for this, for what we have right now. But if there is a need, it will be posted later on, closer to the school year. The next question was intern credential. Yes, we do hire teachers, student teachers that are intern eligible. If you are intern eligible, just go ahead and upload your eligibility letter in your application on EdJoin. That was it.
Great. While the rest of you are submitting questions, which you can do through the Q&A feature on here, I also want to ask, how does your district integrate technology into the classroom, and what support do you provide?
So we have abundant technology, one-to-one computers for all our students. At the elementary level, it's 3rd grade and up. So it starts from 3rd grade and up, one-to-one computers, laptops, they're Chrome notebooks, they're in the classroom, so each classroom has a set. And then For first and second, we have tablets, and then for kindergarten, they have a lab style setup. So it's and then each classroom is set up with 2 large monitors so that teachers are able to use those from their laptops. We have a black box theater at our high schools that supports our students doing presentations to audiences in the community. As far as our students being able to take home the laptops, we didn't have that set up for this last school year, but it might be something that we would be able to do for this upcoming school year, depending on what our needs are to support our students. And then there's a couple questions that came in. So hiring counselors for the new Fontana High School, that's a possibility. I don't have that posted yet. So definitely check back in the month of June and July if we're going to post that. Let's see. So what are examples of how entrepreneurship has been integrated into history? Will best practices of integrating entrepreneurship be taught before school starts? Let me get the second question first. So yes, you'll be collaborating with, we actually have positions for CTE credentialed teachers. So their specialty will be in sectors in the career technology field. So for example, I'm looking for one of the sectors is marketing, sales, and service. So we actually have teachers that are specializing in that. They've owned a business or they've been entrepreneurs and they've applied for the credentials. So they have that real life experience. And so they're teaching the students as well, but then also lending support to our core subject teachers. So you'd be working on, let's say, there's a lot of project-based learning at our high school level. So you'd be working with the other core subjects too. For example, the question was, how do we integrate into history? I don't know a specific example for the curriculum for history, but for example, we have the entrepreneur and business skills all across the board. For example, last year, our PE teachers did, Shark Tank-like pitch for our students. It was a project that our students had to create a business plan and present it to local gym owners. And they created their own business, gym or CrossFit business, and presented it during a presentation to our gym owners, and they got feedback from that. So within that project, you can incorporate parts from what a math teacher would teach and do the finance part. So that's kind of how it's being taught across the curriculums. Do we provide summer school opportunity for our students? We were planning to do it this summer because I know that some of our students needed credit recovery or just summer school course makeup, but we weren't able to. But that is definitely something that we would do in the future. A lot of it is based on our student needs and how we can support them. So. And then can you give details on the CTE position? So a career technology education credential teacher would have 3 to 5 years of experience in a specific sector, and then they would apply to the commission, and those 3 years of experience would count towards a credential. They would still have to go through a commission approved program. So this teacher would specifically teach that specialty of another one that we're looking for is someone that has business and finance experience. And I think the third one that we're looking for was manufacturing and manufacturing and product development. And that was another one. We actually have a couple of hands-on experience that we developed for our students. We just piloted last year. It was a print shop, A through Z print shop. We have a 6-head embroidery machine, and then 2 UV printers, and an advisor that runs the program. Our students actually interviewed for the experience, and we actually have departments made of students: a sales department, a production department, a graphic design department. So our students are learning hands-on how to run a print shop, and we actually have had local districts, local schools come in and ask to get shirts printed, products printed. We actually have had orders from the community. The next project that we're implementing is we're going to be doing a culinary program for our students. Because of our new building, we're able to provide that experience for the students. So that's what we're looking to, provide the full kitchen, full culinary, equipment for our students to participate in. Question is, I have a multiple subject credential. Do I need a single subject credential to teach middle school math, or do I need to pass a single subject CSET math? So we've had multiple subject teaching credentials with a math authorization added to that. From what I've seen with our teachers that have applied and looking through what's required on the commission, the CTC website, you can teach a fully like a 7th or 8th grade math class with that credential, or then you can apply for a single subject as well. That's kind of a little bit more of that kind of question would be more of going into what's required from the commission and kind of going through your college program to see what's required for that credential.
Just so everybody knows, I added into the chat box the website to our credential analyst office. And so it's divided up by alphabet, by last name, and go ahead and contact them directly to find out what you are authorized to teach. So they will look through your transcripts and see, like Kim was saying, they'll analyze it to see if you're authorized to teach like a supplementary math, if you have enough units for that, or for history, or for art. So go ahead and copy that website and check that out, and contact your credential analysts if you're not sure about what you're authorized to teach. So we have reached our time limit, and thank you so much everyone who's attended and have submitted questions. And Kim, thank you so much for sharing more about Real Journeys. We appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all your questions, and this has been a great experience. This is my first one, so I'm hoping to reach out to everybody, and if there's any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly through the website, or was there, Nori, was there information? I think my email was sent out, or?
Are you okay? We didn't share it here, but do you want us to share it?
Yeah, do I just type it in that panel?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.